Ladies and gentlemen, Disney is firing several hundred employees across multiple different departments. Disney laying off several hundred in film, TV, and finance, according to Reuters. Media company Walt Disney is laying off several hundred employees from film, television, and corporate finance, a Reuters source familiar with the matter said on Monday. The layoffs affect multiple teams around the world, including the film and TV marketing, TV publicity, and casting and development, the source said. If only there would have been people on the internet telling you to stop pandering to a bunch of weirdos that won't support your product. If only you wouldn't be putting agenda-driven nonsense in all of your movies and your television shows. If only you weren't ruining iconic IPs. If only you weren't ruining things that are a layup with the budget and the resources that Disney has. It's insane. What is it? Reimagine Tomorrow? This right here.
Beyond woke, I can't fully explain what it is that they're doing or I'll get canceled because mentioning certain facts out loud these days is a very dangerous thing to do. But I'll show you what it is that they're doing and you can see it for yourself and you'll get the picture. Leaked footage of an executive meeting that they just had about the Florida Parental Rights Bill or the Anti-Grooming Bill, or which the Marxists call the Don't Say Gay bill, was just posted online by Christopher Rufo. He's the guy who's been putting a spotlight on critical race theory, which again is just a fancy term for anti-whiteism, and recently I had a nice chat with him about using the correct terminology, so hopefully he'll start doing that. But he obtained this footage of these Disney executives in their meeting where, and this is their terminology, they say that they're going full steam ahead with the, quote, gay agenda. Here's Disney's diversity and inclusion manager, Vivian Ware, explaining that the theme parks no longer refer to people as ladies and gentlemen or even boys or girls because of the gender non-binary children that may be in attendance.
Last summer, we removed all of the gendered greetings in relationship to our life skills. So we no longer say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've provided training for all of our cast members in relationship to that. So now they know it's hello everyone or hello friends. And we don't want to just assume because someone might be in our interpretation, maybe presenting as female, that they may not want to be called princess. So let's think differently about how do we really engage with our guests in a meaningful and inclusive way that makes it magical and memorable for everyone.
That's nothing. Here's Disney production coordinator Alan March explaining that the company is dedicated to producing new cartoons for the kids, which include gender nonconforming and bisexual characters.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of working with the Moon Girl team for the last 2 years.
Remember what I said about profiling people? Just want to clarify that it was not about a race. I fully support profiling people, and this is exactly what I'm talking about right here.
Years, and they've been really open to exploring queer stories, and so I put together like a tracker of our background characters to make sure that we have like the full breadth of expression. And we got into a very similar conversation, Carrie, of like, oh, all of our like gender nonconforming characters are in the background, and so it's not just a numbers game of how many LGBTQ plus characters you have. And so kind of the only way to have these like canonical trans characters, canonical asexual characters, canonical bisexual characters is to give them stories where they can like be their whole selves.
That's still the tip of the iceberg. Here's Disney's president of general entertainment content, one of the highest level executives in the entire company, Carrie Burke. She wants at least 50% of all characters to be LGBTQIA+ or racial minorities, which in California, New Mexico, Texas, and Hawaii would be white people, but of course she's talking about people of color.
I'm here as a mother of 2 queer children, actually, one transgender child and one pansexual child, and also as a leader. So we had an open forum last week at 20th where again, the home of really incredible, groundbreaking LGBTQIA stories over the years where one of our execs stood up and said, you know, we only have a handful of queer leads in our content. And I went, what? That can't be true. And I realized, oh, It actually is true. We have many, many, many LGBTQIA characters in our stories.
All right, I'm over it. I can't listen to more. But again, because I've seen all those videos from years ago. Because that's like a 3 or 4 year old video. I feel like, I'm not sure. But that pertains to the story we have right here. Breaking: Disney is firing several hundred employees across multiple different departments, and that's the sad part of it all. As you guys know, we cover a lot of different stuff here. I know several people that work for Disney, and the people I know obviously hate what is going on, and they've hated it for a long time. I've actually been thanked by many people there for constantly calling out the bullshit, because they're so sick and tired of people covering up the bullshit that's there. You have a lot of just awesome people at the ground level, and those are the people that are being affected by this. You have these horrifically terrible executives that are involved in the company that are pushing this agenda shit, and everything that they've done recently has failed, and failed miserably. I mean, at some point in time, though, it's hard for me to have sympathy for people that continue to work there, because I mean, look at the people that are running the company. They clearly, what Walt Disney created does not exist anymore. And that is that's the hard pill to swallow, but it just doesn't exist anymore from that perspective. And it's sad. It's sad that it's gotten this far. But I'm glad that Disney is feeling some of the effects of the bullshit that they've been pushing the last few years. So no sympathy at all. Not one bit of sympathy.